Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're heading down, way down into the deep ocean. It's the biggest habitat on Earth, mostly pitch black, but we're actually here to talk about light.
That's right, living light. And, if you picture bioluminescence as just this beautiful, rare thing, well, we need to flip that script entirely.
Flip the script. How so?
Below about 200 meters, sunlight just vanishes. And down there, scientists estimate that maybe 75, even up to 90% of all the creatures swimming in that midwater zone make their own light.
90%. So it's not the exception.
It is.
It's the rule.
It's totally the norm. It's basically the default way of life in the abyss.
Okay, so it's this living glow, this chemical reaction, right?
Yeah.
Luciferin meeting luciferase.
Exactly. Luciferin is the molecule that emits the light, and luciferase is the enzyme, the catalyst that makes it happen. Simple chemistry, incredibly powerful results.
So our mission for this deep dive is to understand why. Why is this living light everywhere down there? We'll look at how they use it, the surprising chemistry, and even how scientists have borrowed these tricks for some amazing tech.
Absolutely. It really boils down to survival in total darkness. I mean, what do you need to do?
Avoid being eaten, find something to eat.
Right. And find a mate. Bioluminescence offers solutions for all of those in a world that's otherwise, well, visually blank.
Okay, let's tackle that first one, not getting eaten.
Yeah.
How do you hide in basically open water with no cover?
Yeah, that's the big problem, especially in what they call the twilight zone, maybe 200 down to 1,000 meters. There's still a tiny bit of blue light filtering down.
So you'd be silhouetted from below.
Precisely, a perfect target against that faint light. So the trick is counter-illumination. You have to erase your own shadow
Fight light.
with light. Exactly. Creatures like the hatchet fish are masters at this. They've got these specialized light organs, photophores, all along their belly.
And they glow.
They produce this soft blue glow that perfectly matches the color and intensity of the light coming down from above.
That's already pretty amazing.
But wait, it gets better. They can actually adjust the brightness instantly. So if a cloud passes over way up at the surface, thousands of feet up.
No way.
Yes, they dim their light slightly to match. It's incredibly precise camouflage.
Wow, that level of control is something else. Okay, so that's hiding. But you still need to eat. How does light become a weapon or bait?
Right, the flip side, hunting. And the classic example everyone thinks of,
Could be the anglerfish.
the deep-sea anglerfish, absolutely. The female has that modified fin spine sticking out with a fleshy little lure on the end, the esca.
And it glows.
It glows. Often that light isn't even made by the fish itself, but by bacteria living inside the lure, symbiotic bacteria.
And that little light looks like.
Like a tiny shrimp or something swimming by. Irresistible. Some poor fish or squid comes closer to check it out. Snap. Dinner time.
Such a good strategy.
So good it evolved multiple times. You see similar glowing lures on some deep-sea squids, totally unrelated species. Convergent evolution at its best.
Are there other ways they use light to hunt? Not just lures?
Oh, yeah. Some fish hunt more actively with light. Think of the flashlight fish.
Blacklight fish, okay.
Oh.
Aptly named.
Very. They have these organs under their eyes packed with glowing bacteria, and they have these little shutters, little eyelids that can blink open and close.
So they can flash a beam.
Exactly. It's like a quick spotlight. They can blink it on, spot some little crustacean hanging out in the dark, blink it off, and then attack. Quick scans.
Clever. Okay, so hiding, hunting. What about finding each other? Mating in the dark must be tough.
It definitely presents challenges. But again, light provides the solution. It's like fireflies on land, but underwater, and often way more complex.
Underwater fireflies.
Kind of. The Caribbean ostracods are a fantastic example. They're tiny little crustaceans, sometimes called sea fireflies. At night, the males perform these really elaborate courtship displays. They swim in very specific patterns.
Patterns?
Yeah, like loops, zigzags, spirals. And as they swim, they release pulses of this glowing blue mucus.
Creating light trails.
Precisely. And here's the key. Each species has its own unique light show program, a specific sequence and pattern of flashes and trails.
Like a secret code.
Exactly. So a female ostracod can watch these displays and recognize the signal of her own species, even if there are dozens of other species flashing nearby. It avoids confusion.
That's incredible. So light is for hiding, hunting, finding mates.
Mm-hmm.
It makes sense it would also be crucial for defense, right? Getting away from predators.
Oh, absolutely critical. And the defensive uses are maybe the most creative. The simplest is just a sudden, bright flash.
So startle tactic.
Yeah, the startle flash. Blinds or disorients a predator for just a split second, but that might be all you need to escape. Lots of plankton, like comb jellies, do this.
Okay, simple but effective. But I heard about something flashier, like a smoke screen but with light.
Ah, you're thinking of the vampire squid's trick. It's brilliant. When it's threatened, it doesn't release ink like most squid.
No ink. What then?
It shoots out this cloud of sticky mucus from its arm tips, but the mucus is filled with thousands of tiny bioluminescent particles. A glitter bomb.
A glitter bomb,
It's
seriously.
seriously,
Yeah.
this shimmering, sparkling cloud hangs in the water, totally distracting the predator. It's mesmerizing.
And I guess the predator might get covered in sparkles, too.
Exactly. It can make the predator itself glow, potentially attracting its predators. It's a fantastic defense.
Okay, glitter bombs.
Why?
What else? Are there other decoy tricks?
There are. Some animals use sacrificial lures. Think about deep-sea brittle stars.
Like starfish relatives.
Yeah. If one gets attacked, it can deliberately break off one of its arms.
Okay.
And that detached arm will keep glowing, maybe even twitching. The predator goes after the bright, wiggling arm.
While the rest of the brittle star crawls away.
Precisely. Sacrifice a part to save the whole.
That's intense. But there's one defense that sounds even crazier, the burglar alarm.
Ah, yes. This one is really counterintuitive, maybe the most desperate move.
How does it work?
Okay, imagine a jellyfish, like the Atoll jellyfish, gets grabbed by a predator. It's caught.
Right. Seems like game over.
But instead of giving up, it starts flashing violently. Really bright, rapid pulses of light, like a siren.
Why draw more attention?
It's not trying to scare the current attacker. It's screaming for help. That intense flashing might attract an even bigger predator.
Hoping the bigger fish attacks the first fish.
Exactly. If the bigger predator comes and attacks your attacker, maybe you get released in the confusion. It's a gamble, calling in the cavalry, basically.
Wow. Talk about high-stakes signaling. Okay, so the functions are incredibly varied. Let's talk about the chemistry again. He said luciferin and luciferase, but is it always the same stuff?
That's the fascinating part. No, it's not. The basic principle is this cold light reaction, super efficient, almost no heat lost.
Okay.
Essential in the cold deep sea.
Cold light. Got it.
But evolution has solved this problem, this need for light, over and over again independently. Scientists know of at least a dozen completely distinct chemical systems for making light, maybe more.
A dozen different ways to glow. That really emphasizes how vital light must be down there.
It really does. You've got cholinerazine, which is super common, found in jellyfish, shrimp, lots of fish. It's almost like a chemical currency. Many animals actually get it from their diet.
They eat things that glow, and then they can glow.
Sort of, yeah. They acquire the precursor chemicals. Then there are other systems like vargulin, which the ostracods use, and that leads to another cool example. The midshipman fish.
The midshipman. Didn't we mention diet before?
Yes. This fish uses vargulin to make its light signals, but it can't make vargulin itself.
So it has to eat.
It has to eat the ostracods that contain vargulin. If you raise midshipman fish in a lab and don't feed them these ostracods, they completely lose the ability to glow.
You literally are what you eat, or at least you glow what you eat.
Pretty much. Your ability to communicate depends entirely on your last meal, in a way.
Okay, if the chemistry is so varied, why is the light itself almost always blue or blue-green?
That comes down to physics and the environment. Simple reason. Blue light travels the farthest through seawater.
Less absorption, less scattering.
Exactly. Water absorbs reds and yellows very quickly, but blue penetrates much deeper. So if you want your signal seen from far away or you want to see things far away,
You use blue. And presumably most deep-sea eyes are tuned to blue light.
Yep. Most deep-sea creatures have visual pigments optimized for detecting blue wavelengths, around 440 to 500 nanometers. It's the lingua franca of deep-sea vision.
But you mentioned evolution loves exceptions. Is there an exception to the blue rule?
There is a really cool one. The stoplight loosejaw. It's a type of deep-sea dragonfish.
Starflight. Does it make red light?
It does. It has the standard blue-green photophores like many fish, but it also has a special organ under its eye that produces rare, long-wavelength red bioluminescence.
And why red? What's the advantage?
Here's the kicker. Almost no other deep-sea animal can see red light. Their eyes aren't sensitive to it.
So the loose jaw can see red, but its prey can't.
Exactly. The loose jaw has special pigments in its eyes to detect its own red light, so it can use this red beam like a sniper scope.
Illuminating prey that has no idea it's being watched.
Totally oblivious. It's a secret wavelength, a private channel for hunting.
That is brilliant. Okay, this brings us kind of up from the depths and into the lab. Studying this stuff must be incredibly hard.
Oh, extremely. For years, submersibles with bright white lights and noisy thrusters would just scare everything away. You weren't seeing natural behavior.
So how did they crack that?
A lot of credit goes to Dr. Edith Witter. She realized the problem was the observation method, so she thought, what if we use their own language?
Use bioluminescence to study bioluminescence.
Kind of. She developed what's called the electronic jellyfish, or e-jelly. It's a lure designed to mimic the exact flashing pattern of that Atolla jellyfish.
The burglar alarm flash.
The very same one. That desperate, urgent pattern. She figured if anything was going to attract large, wary predators, that would be it.
And did it work?
Amazingly well. That e-jelly lure was the key piece of technology that allowed scientists to get the first ever footage of a live giant squid, Architeuthis, in its natural habitat back in 2012.
Wow, the giant squid. They lured it in with a fake jellyfish alarm.
Yep. Proved that even the biggest players in the deep respond to these light signals. It cracked open a whole new way of observing the deep sea.
That's incredible for exploration.
Right.
What about borrowing the chemistry itself for, like, medicine or biology?
Huge impact there, too. We basically use these light-making systems as tiny spies inside cells and organisms.
Spies.
Yeah, take firefly luciferase. Scientists use it as a reporter gene. Imagine you want to know when a specific gene turns on inside a cell, maybe a cancer cell.
Okay.
You can attach the genetic instructions for making firefly luciferase right next to that gene of interest. So when your target gene switches on, the cell also starts making the luciferase enzyme.
Ah, so if you add the luciferin fuel,
The cell glows. You can literally see when and where that gene is active. Watch tumors grow or shrink in real time in lab animals. See how drugs are working at a molecular level. It's incredibly powerful.
and wasn't there a jellyfish protein that won a Nobel Prize?
That's right. Green fluorescent protein, GFP, from the jellyfish Echoria victoria. This one was maybe even more revolutionary.
Why GFP? What did it do?
Before GFP, watching specific proteins move and work inside a living cell was basically impossible. But researchers figured out how to take the gene for GFP and attach it to the gene of almost any other protein they wanted to study.
So you could make any protein glow green.
Essentially, yes. Suddenly you could tag your favorite protein, put the cell under a microscope, and watch it move around, see where it goes, who it interacts with, all in real time within the living cell. It totally changed cell biology.
Just amazing the tools we've gained from studying this deep sea light.
And there are other uses too, like using bacterial luciferase to test for water toxicity quickly. The applications keep growing.
Okay, so this intricate light show, all these different chemistries, the precise signaling, it sounds like a system that's really finely tuned to the stable conditions of the deep sea.
It absolutely is, and that's where the concern comes in. The deep ocean is stable, cold, dark, but it's not immune to the changes happening globally.
You mean climate change? How does that affect light production?
One of the biggest worries is ocean acidification. As the ocean absorbs more CO2, the pH drops, it becomes more acidic. And these light-producing chemical reactions, they're often very sensitive to pH.
So changing the water chemistry messes with the light chemistry.
Exactly. And it's not straightforward. It's not like everything just gets dimmer. The effects could be really varied and unpredictable.
Varied how?
Well, research suggests that for some species, like the sea pansy, lower pH might actually make their glow brighter, maybe even twice as bright under conditions projected for 2100.
Brighter.
But for other really key species, like the firefly squid, which uses light for communication and camouflage, the same drop in pH could slash their light output by maybe 70%.
70% dimmer, while others get brighter. That sounds chaotic.
It could be incredibly disruptive. Imagine mating signals suddenly becoming almost invisible, while some defensive flashes become blindingly bright. The whole sensory landscape of the deep could be thrown into disarray.
It messes up the signals for hunting, hiding, mating, everything we just talked about.
Precisely. Predator-prey relationships that have been stable for eons could flip. Communication could break down. And this is on top of other threats, like deep-sea mining.
Right, physical destruction of habitats.
Exactly. Mining and pollution could literally destroy species and unique bioluminescent adaptations before we even know they exist. We're racing to understand this world just as it's beginning to change, maybe permanently.
So wrapping this up, we dove into the darkness and found it filled with light. This living light isn't just incidental, it's fundamental. It's the language, the currency, the survival kit of the deep ocean.
It really is. Driven by this incredibly diverse chemistry shaped by the physics of water, driving ecology from the smallest plankton to the giant squid.
But this finely tuned system is facing potentially massive disruption from environmental change.
Yeah. And that leaves us with a pretty profound question. Bioluminescence is arguably the most widespread biological trait in the planet's largest habitat. It shapes everything down there.
So the final thought for you, the listener, is this. If these vital light signals start to flicker, shift, or even go out because of changes we're causing, what happens then? What does the future of the deep ocean look like if its primary language begins to fail? Will it be a fundamentally different and maybe much darker world down there?